When DICE announced Rotterdam would be part of the map pool, I got excited. The first artwork showed Het Witte Huis. I saw that building outside of my window every time I sat in the college room. I was ecstatic. There's this weird feeling of being home when you come across a place in a video game that is inspired or based upon something you visited or studied in. Was this finally the moment that I get to roam around on the virtual streets of a lifelike Rotterdam? At first glance it doesn't really resemble current Rotterdam at all. But there's a reason why these virtual streets don't compare to the real life ones. So what happened? In 1940, on the 14th of May, the Germans dropped their bombs on Rotterdam to advance the German military invasion of the Netherlands. This single bombardment only lasted 15 minutes, but the disaster was huge. More than 24,000 housing buildings were destroyed, 32 churches and 2 synagogues were obliterated. Around 650 to 900 people died and 80,000 Rotterdammers became homeless. When the Germans threatened to do the same to Utrecht, the Netherlands surrendered on May 15, 1940. If you look at the pictures of the aftermath, you can see why the city had to be rebuilt. The entire city center was gone. This is why Rotterdam looks completely modern compared to other cities in the Netherlands. So let's go back to the most iconic landmark in the open beta of Battlefield 5, Het Witte Huis. Because it didn't go down in the war, you can still visit this location and view it in its glory. Het Witte Huis means the White House in Dutch. It was designed by the architect Willem Molenbroek in the late 19th century and commissioned by the brothers Gerrit and Herman van der Schuit. The contractor J.H. Stelwagen built the White House between 1897 and 1898 for 127,900 gulden, roughly 58,038 plus 49 cents. The building is in total 43 meters high and used to be the tallest high-rise in Europe. There we see a map overview of the game version and the real-life counterpart. DICE has expanded the triangle-shaped area to add Capture C, and in both 2018's and the pre-1940s version of Rotterdam has a bridge in between capture point B and D. In Battlefield, Het Witte Huis has a grand main hall. In the 2018's Rotterdam there are now cafes and restaurants. The surrounding area in front of Het Witte Huis feels familiar, but the 2018's Rotterdam has added the Kubuswoningen, modern buildings and more trees. We're now on the bridge. In both the 2018's and the pre-1940s version of Rotterdam, it has a bridge in between capture point B and D. DICE turned this into a road with docks. The corner near D has been turned into a road in 2018, but Battlefield's version resembles a lot with the pre-1940s Rotterdam. Here we are near the entrance to the parking garage underneath capture point E. The bridge is gone and its starting point has been changed into a fitness center. The parking garage has been walled off from the middle and is now used as storage space. The garage is now only accessible for bicycle users and pedestrians. On the other side we're able to see the area where the famous Erasmus Bridge is located. An interesting part about the other side is that there is still a small doorway on the side. This isn't included in the Battlefield's version. The E capture point has changed a lot. There is now an intersection that leads to the Markthal and the Blaak station. If we follow this road, we are led on a similar height as the railway from Battlefield, and we have a small view on the triangle-shaped island. And with that, I have to conclude this small comparison between Rotterdam versus its virtual counterpart.